So Mpac is a national advocacy organization for American Muslims. Its model is to engage people in decision-making places such as Hollywood, government, the media. And so we have three major departments, and that's where our focus is. To become more in the forefront now with this past election year when presidential candidates kind of used Islam and the Muslim community as a way to galvanize their base and kind of use people's fears to promote their own political agenda. And so we're kind of in the forefront of it right now.
I never thought that I would be in DC at a time where Trump became president. When rhetoric is used by different politicians, political leaders, how can people not believe that? You know what I mean? These are the people leading our country. How can we not believe something they're saying? And if it's not something that personally affects you, if you're not Muslim, or if you don't know a lot of Muslim people in the community, I can't blame you for necessarily believing what they say. Honestly, with this Trump administration, I'm confused. I'll be honest with you, I'm confused because as much as I do research on his different policy issues, I feel like they really change. People say that they're really frustrated about the idea that Trump wants to ban Muslims and make Muslims document themselves, and this list of targeting Muslims in different ways. And I feel like, is this really happening? You know what I mean? Is this really going to become something specific? Is it just talk, or will it become action? Because I really can't see our country going towards something like that. Do Muslims have a safe space where they feel like they're open to just going about their daily life, or do they feel like different policies are targeting them?
My role is to implement the Safe Spaces program at different mosques throughout the country. So when you're having issues like Islamophobia and that type of rhetoric in the presidential campaign, it is important to teach people that civic engagement is a way to address those issues. And if you have policy grievances, it's better to address those grievances in a positive outlet, and that will help decrease some of the driving factors when it comes to disillusionment with democracy or something like that, which are proven driving factors of radicalization.
I think that Muslims and the media is huge. I think that's actually one of the biggest things in America today, because I feel like without the media, Muslims wouldn't have the same identity that they do in the public. It's like a ripple effect. So when the media, I think, broadcasts something specific about Muslims, that goes a long way in the community.
Our social media has grown a lot over the past year. We're at around almost 200,000 now, and they're very engaged. And I think the reason people are very engaged on our social media platforms is because it's very positive, encouraging, and empowering. We don't frame Muslims as victims on our social media, even if there's a terrorist attack or a hate crime, whatever incident is happening around the world. I make a point to not share the negative news. I always try to find an empowering angle. Since Donald Trump has been announced as our next president, I've definitely seen an increase in our digital advocacy work. I think that with the resistance against what Donald Trump is doing with his call to ban Muslims and other things that he's doing towards other communities, it's really forced us to work together in a really positive way.
So post-election, I think many of us, not just in the Muslim community, but in many minority communities with our allies, whether it's interfaith, Latino, Hispanic, African American, LGBTQ, all the minorities that are vulnerable in a Trump campaign had to shift gears and think strategically as to how do we band together to defend and protect our civil rights.